And now we're in Brazil.
We're in Brazil, but not legally yet. We're a truck with no country.
Let's leave everything and go traveling. See what tomorrow brings. It's only a choice away. Let's back up and leave today. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
Well, last time we had just made it back to Goose after hiking up to Machu Picchu and back. Once at the vehicles, and all a little tired from our epic 2 days, we decided to drive for only a few hours before searching for camp.
That is cool. How do you fill your water truck? Oh, we do it off of a natural jungle stream.
This is what we found, a little spot just off the road next to a river. Of course, we had to go across the river just to be sure we had found the best spot. Once we had confirmed we were where we wanted to be, we all settled in and enjoyed hanging out, talking about what we all thought of the whirlwind that had been the last couple of days. After some good rest, we hit the windy road back towards Cusco.
Here's your shortcut.
Oh, we're gonna say hours, you guys. Hours. No horses on it this time.
No.
Okay. Cool. They're taking it too. Love it. We'll see when we turn here. That's fantastic. So we took that shortcut in the middle of the night. I don't know, was it 3 nights ago on the way out to Machu Picchu? And everyone followed me and I was like, I hope it's okay. I hope everyone's all right. And so here they go. There goes Sebastian and Sophie.
See if they're gonna beat him earlier the other way.
Oh, they didn't take it?
No.
Sadly, this is where we had to part ways with our friends Sophie and Sebastian. They needed to make it to Chile, where they would soon be ending their trip. Sad to say goodbye, but full of good memories. We all wished them safe travels and continued on to Cusco. In Cusco, we stayed at a little campground called Quinta Lala, which was listed on iOverlander. It was a bit expensive, but it was in a good location, so it made doing chores much easier.
Everything's the same. The diffs are the same, front and back. Everything. The only thing
The ratcheting 19, please. So I've always liked that style better. The opening's bigger, so you can fit all the big soft shackle through it and stuff. And then it sits flush. The main thing we hit when we're going up steep rock faces and stuff is this, because it kind of sticks out a bit, so it gets scraped up. So awesome. Yeah. Beautiful.
After installing our fancy new shackle mount, it was time to go search for oil and filters. Then groceries. And finally some drinks and Wi-Fi with friends before we said adios to Peru. Good morning. We are still at Quinta Lala camping. We stayed one extra night. And there's Goose. He's all packed up and ready to go this morning. And we met one of Tim's students that he taught how to drive off-road here. He's on his big trip. So Tim's down there chatting with him. We got to hang out with him a little bit last night, which was cool. And then we're just going to find a free camp spot tonight somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but moving on, moving out of Cusco. We were headed for Brazil. We had spent a lot of time in Peru, and we were feeling pretty comfortable here, so it felt like time to move on. We had seen so many stunning views, such a wide range of landscapes, wonderful people, so much history, and countless memories. So we soaked in the views as we drove, knowing this could be one of our last drives in Peru, at least for a while. Alright, we are on the road. We just went over a big pass. Hopefully we're going lower because our campsite that we're kind of looking ahead to won't be quite as cold as up here, but we're heading towards Brazil.
Yeah, mountains are giant, so we were up at like almost 16, I think, at the top.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're definitely hoping we get quite a bit lower. It's going to be really friggin' cold.
Either way, I think it's going to be cold, and
Yeah.
no sun right now. It's just cloudy, so.
Yep, it's funny because we've had such clear skies. It's not the rainy season where we're at, and so it's been bone dry and really sunny. And to have it be like a fog bank is a little ominous, but it's actually not raining or anything, and I don't even know if it will, but just to have it be cloudy is sort of strange for how it's been.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Excited to get to camp. Need a taxi motorcycle?
That's so cool. So we're gonna slow down because they didn't make the light back there. But yeah, they're everywhere. These guys in these little yellow helmets, and they have like a visor that comes down that looks like I don't know, what does it look like? Is this our turn?
Not yet. We've got one more block.
Okay. But remember, we're gonna do the one street off of the.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Here, check it out. It's the coolest thing ever. Look at this face shield. That's cobras. God, you can get a ride around town with Cobra Kai. Is it right here?
Yep.
2 hours later.
How was it, Tim? So good, you can't speak.
Really good.
Courtesy of Jake and Jordan, we're having pizza tonight.
One very long digestive tract later.
The next morning, I was up early and enjoyed taking in the morning with some coffee and a podcast. The temps here were much warmer than we had been in. We all enjoyed the morning before heading off for the border and into the Amazon jungle. We weren't sure what to expect from Brazil, but we were excited. Burning fields, making fields. I don't know what you call that. Clearing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think they're doing road work and they have a
Fire going.
So we're kind of in the southern part of the Amazon, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Tired.
I hate the jungle.
Me too.
It's
hot and humid.
yeah,
Lots of bugs.
So it's dead of winter, and there's little bugs that leave little puncture marks on you, but they use something so you don't feel it even, so you're not even feeling getting bit. So we got to feel those
later,
just
yeah.
when we stop for lunch. So we'll see. We're heading up into northern, well, sort of northeastern Peru. We're heading into Brazil probably tomorrow or the day after, and then we'll do a little bit of Brazil, but I don't know how much I'm going to be up for just because the jungle and everything gets old so fast. We've only been in it for the day today.
Yeah.
So I've got another 4 or 5 days of me, and then
Looks like we're gonna start moving again.
yeah, cool. But, you know, then we'll probably want to go to like the Bolivian salt flats or somewhere that's sort of
Bug-free.
different.
Sites like this would become normal as we explored the Amazon. Farmers here use a slash and burn technique to clear land for crops. It is technically illegal in most places, but not really enforced. We got the feel this is the way it has been done for generations, and it wasn't going to change anytime soon. This is how they survive. This year, however, it attracted international attention. In fact, there was so much smoke from this area, it could be seen from satellite imagery. But being on the ground here, no one seemed concerned or like this was out of the ordinary. It wasn't like it was an out-of-control wildfire. Just everyday life. It seemed we had just started moving when we found ourselves again stationary. This time for a very different reason. They've been dancing for a long time.
They've been dancing for a long time, and it's, I'm going to say, it's probably 90 and 100% humidity, and they're all wearing a lot of clothing, but they're young, so they can handle it. But this is the celebration of, or fiesta of San Lorenzo. Don't know exactly who that saint is or what that means to them, but
Maybe. They're still on the road.
I don't know. They're still on the road. I think they can do another one. What I've learned is every time you think they're done, there's actually a little bit more to do, I guess.
crossing to cross into Brazil, but right now we're right along the border of Bolivia, which is kind of neat. Pretty close to 3 countries right now.
Well, yeah, it's pretty cool. I always apprehensive crossing a border. I'm sure it'll be fine, and they get less apprehensive the more you do, but it's always a little bit like, oh, did we forget that? Or, oh,
Yeah.
is this paperwork in order? You know, there's always something you're wondering if a guy with a stamp is going to go, no, you simply cannot leave, or you simply cannot enter, or something. There's a lot of little men with great power at borders, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Kind of excited to end up in Brazil, but it's interesting. We've gotten so used to Peru now. I feel like
Yeah.
we've been here forever, even though we went home in the middle of it. It's become the most time we spend in the country, probably, right?
Yeah, I think so.
2 months or
Yeah.
3.
And one of the, I mean, Colombia was big, but Peru's been bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, not sure what Brazil will be like. It'll be the first country that's not Spanish speaking.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. We're just gonna speak Spanish and see how it goes, because
Yeah.
I know there's certain carryover with Portuguese, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm not super excited to be back in the jungle. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of neat, but
It's
I
so
think
hot and buggy. It's
Yeah.
just not comfortable. Like even we were talking about, we could have an easy day and not drive so much. But then what do? You sit in the heat and the bugs, so it's not
Sit and
comfortable to
sweat,
sit either.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what they want to do, because I don't think they've been in the jungle yet. So I don't know. We'll see how like our tolerance for it versus their tolerance for it goes. I think we might have a shorter one almost because we've done a bunch of jungle.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We can always turn south into Bolivia. There's still jungle, but then we know we're heading kind of towards the Salar de Uyuni and all these other
Yeah.
mountains and places. But we're not in any rush.
It's harder to wild camp in the jungle, especially in a thick jungle. It's really hard.
Yep.
And this jungle has just been so burned and then planted that pretty much everything is either cows or crops.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much all the little roads lead to a little farm or ranch or something.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll update you.
well, we made it to the border, checked out of Peru, which was quick and easy. Oh, that was. Then hopped back in Goose to drive the few kilometers to the Brazilian side of the border so we could check in.
On the border. You got red and white on one side. And you got green and yellow. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And now we're in Brazil.
We're in Brazil, but not legally yet. We're a truck with no country.
We had made it just in time for lunch, so after a little waiting, we checked in to Brazil, which was also quick once the lunch break was over, and easy, and everyone was so friendly. We did it. We're in Brazil.
We did it. We are in Brazil.
Welcome to Brazil. Now it was time to find some place to camp that wasn't burning. We headed into the jungle to look for a spot, which proved a hard task, but eventually we found some place that was good enough, and we set up camp for the night. Thanks for watching, guys. Join us next time as we crawl deeper into the Amazon, discover what Brazil has to offer, and Goose even gets a bath.
Park off the road. You gotta leave at least half your vehicle on the road.
Oh
You know, minimum.
You want to make sure you die if you're, taking a break.
You guys have air conditioning.
I do. I'm not using it.
I hate you.
So humid, right?
I use it for
Well,
like
sitting.
5
Yeah.
minutes, and then I'll shut it off.